Cath. My YouTube channel is made by Cath Crafts, and I'm here today. It's a beautiful sunny day, and I'm here today to talk a little bit about what I've been making in March. Firstly, I wanted to say thank you so much to everyone that watched my first YouTube vlog about what I was planning to make in March. I had so many lovely comments, and I was really grateful because I was a little bit nervous about posting it, so it made me feel really at home, so thank you so much. So I've got a little bit of time this morning. Obviously a lot's changed since my last vlog with the whole lockdown. So I've got, my son would normally be at school, and usually I'd have a couple of mornings a week when my daughter's at preschool, where I maybe do a bit of sewing, do a bit of housework, have a chance to film a vlog, that sort of thing. But obviously things have changed, so I've got my husband working at home, and my son's off from school, my daughter's off from preschool, so I'm kind of sort of homeschooling and trying to make it as fun as possible, really, while we're all stuck at home. But they've gone out on a little walk into the woods this morning with my husband because he had no early calls for work, so that's quite nice. So I had a little bit of time now to do this vlog, so hopefully it'll go okay and I'll get it done before they come back and start you know, generally getting toys out and launching themselves at me and that sort of thing. So yeah, the first make I wanted to talk about was what I'm wearing at the moment, which is my Megan Nielsen Yarrow sweater. So yeah, this is it. I'll just stand up and show you a little bit. I've posted this one on Instagram, so you might have seen that already if you're on my Instagram account. But yeah, I made it in this beautiful rust-coloured spotty sweatshirt fleece fabric from Fabric Godmother. And it's my third Yarrow, but my first one with doing this bottom, this kind of cuffed bottom. And yeah, I just really love it. I'm actually getting a bit warm in it now because it's got the heating on and the sun's streaming through the window, but it's really, really cosy. And I just love how casual the Yarrow is, and it's such an easy sew. It just sews up so nicely, which I find a lot of Megan Nielsen patterns do. So I made the, let me just get the pattern up here. Oh, here we are. Here's the pattern. So yeah, I made the cuffed bottom and cuffed sleeve version, and I made the size 0. My waist and hip measurements are bigger than a size 0, but I knew it came up a little bit oversized. I didn't want it super oversized, and I really like how it's turned out. It's kind of a little bit loose and casual, and yeah, I lengthened it slightly. I think I lengthened it by 1.5 inches because I've got a fairly long body, so it's still a little bit cropped compared to some of my jumpers. But I really like it, and I like how it kind of dips down a little bit at the back, and just feel really comfortable in it. So I'm really pleased with that one. So I definitely recommend it, and this fabric is just silky and lovely, and I really recommend that too. So yeah, that's my first make. Okay, so and this is my second make. Actually it's a double make, and I hadn't talked about this fabric in the March video because it wasn't a new fabric I had. I had it for a little bit of time, but yeah, this is my second make. I'll show you the full outfit, which is quite a lot more summery than my first outfit. This is firstly a Sewing Stevie top by Tilly and the Buttons, and it's in this lovely kind of brightly coloured leopard rayon or viscose from Lubadoo Fabrics, and this has been around on Instagram quite a lot, and I just thought it was really really cute, couldn't resist a little bit, so I got that, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it, but I was kind of thinking of Stevie because I thought it might be a little bit much as a dress on me, and I thought it might wear me, but so I was thinking Stevie, but then my mum said, oh, it would look lovely as a dress, and so I kind of you know when someone suggests something else and it kind of throws you, so it took me a bit of time to decide what I wanted to do, but I thought, nope, yeah, Stevie would be great. I really liked this Stevie top for summer because it kind of keeps you cool, particularly in the lovely drapey viscose like this one, but it also covers you up because I'm one of those people that does burn, so I quite like my shoulders to be covered up, and also in the mornings kind of sun cream my 2 children and then have like no time to sun cream myself, so if I can kind of cover up as much as possible and minimise the amount of sun cream I need to put on, that's always handy. So yeah, this is my Sewing Stevie top. I've done the little cuffs, which I really like. It's got the tie back, and yeah, I just find them really useful, and I thought this is quite a bright, fun, happy one, so I don't know whether I'll get the chance to wear it to the beach this year, or who knows what's going to happen, but you know, hopefully I'll be able to enjoy wearing it and feeling comfortable at home as well. So that's my Sewing Stevie, and I meant to say before, actually, I'm going to put my measurements underneath because I think that's quite useful, and I saw that the lovely Devon Threadtails had done that, because you know, then you can see what measurements I've got and what pattern size I've used and how it fitted, and then get a better idea of how they do fit. So I'll put my measurements underneath in the little spiel at the bottom when I load this vlog up. So that's my Sewing Stevie, and I think I sewed that again I think I might have sewed that in the smallest size because again it comes up quite big, and I'm not a big fan of things that are too big because they do tend to wear me. So that's that, and then the actual make that I said I was going to make in March, in my March vlog, is these shorts, which is the Megan Nielsen, again, Flint shorts. So I chose the tie-waisted option here, so they kind of have a tie-waist option with a little button closure. And these are in a lovely linen rayon blend from Minerva Crafts. And yeah, they're just super comfy, and they're kind of high-waisted, and they turned out they fit pretty well, I think. I'm pretty pleased with the fit. With these ones, I think with Megan Nielsen patterns, it seems to be that for jersey, there aren't so many sizes, but for anything that's woven, there's quite a detailed size range, as you can see. So I just followed my measurements, so I think that meant a size 4 waist, and then I graded up to a size 6 hips, I think. And that came out well, actually. That seemed to fit nicely, and they were just a really nice make, really enjoyable and surprisingly quick from over make. I think 'cause there's only one little buttonhole, and because of the tie closure, they come together quite quickly. And yeah, I think I did the length per pattern, and yeah, just really like the fit. And I think there's some quite cute little pleaty bits here, and they've got darts at the back to bring them in. And actually, for high-waisted shorts, they do feel really comfortable and not too restrictive, so I'm hoping I'll get quite a lot of wear out of those this summer. So another Megan Nielsen pattern I'd really recommend, and I've seen some other lovely versions of these. So yeah, that's the Megan Nielsen Flint pattern and the Sewing Stevie for my summer wardrobe. And I can stay in this outfit for my next make, because it wasn't for me. My next make, which you'll probably remember me talking about if you watched my first vlog, was this cute fabric from Lubadoo Fabrics, which this fabric also came from, and it's this cute butterfly fabric, and I made it into a little dress for my daughter, who's 4. This is the Poppy and Jazz pansy dress, and yeah, I made it a couple times for her before and for my niece, but this time I added a little ruffle at the bottom. So I'm quite pleased how it turned out, really. I think it's quite cute. I like the ruffle, adds a little sweet detail. And she's really happy with it. There's no way I could probably get her to appear on this vlog wearing it. She's not that cooperative, but I will put up a picture of her wearing, because she did very kindly do me some little modelling shots for me to put on Instagram. So yeah, that's that one. I do find it comes up a bit large, so I think I used a slightly smaller size. And then to add the ruffle, I shortened the main skirt. I think I took it down to like a couple of years younger than her age for the length. And then I actually randomly used my Deer and Doe Myosotis pattern to get an idea of the ratio of the ruffle to the skirt. And I think it ended up being the ruffle fabric I cut maybe, I cut an extra 50% long to be able to ruffle it up and make a nice ruffle. So that's what I did. So I've got a little extra pattern piece now for that one. And yeah, I just think it's really fun, and kids' clothes are quite fun because they don't need much fabric and they start pretty quickly. So that was a nice, enjoyable little make, and hopefully she'll get lots of wear out of that in the summer, even if it's just sort of in our garden, running around, probably getting quite dirty quite quickly. So that's that one. Okay, here's my next March make, and this one is the Hen Sand dress by So Liberated. And I haven't put this one on Instagram yet, and I'm not sure if I'll have a chance to load the vlog first or the Instagram photo first, but so the vlog might be the first time you see it. But yeah, this is my Hen Sand dress. So this is the Hen Sand dress pattern by So Liberated, and I just feel like it's one of those iconic indie sewing patterns. So it's one I've wanted to make. It's on my Make 9 2020, so I've done it now, which is great. And yeah, this is it. So I use this fabric, which is a cotton linen blend from Sew Me Sunshine. And it was really nice to sew with, actually, and it's lovely. It kind of, I guess that's the lovely thing about linen, that it feels cool, but it's really stable, and yeah, it's got a bit more lightness than some linens I've worked with, which is perfect for a summery dress. So I decided to make the short sleeved version, and I think I made a few alterations to this one. Well, first I added the optional waist ties to put it in at the back. And I also lengthened the bodice, and I'm really glad I lengthened the bodice, because I think otherwise it would have come up really quite high on me. I can't remember how much I lengthened it by. Let me see if I've got a pattern piece here. Here we are. I lengthened it by about 1.5 inches, and that still comes up a little bit on my like high waist, but I quite like it there. Yeah, this one does come up quite high. And then I added on some buttons to make it a little bit fun, and because I had these in my sort of stash anyway, these sort of bright yellow buttons down the front, which I thought were quite cute and kind of went quite nicely with the navy. So yeah, this Hen Sand dress. It was a really nice make, actually. I really enjoyed it, and it had a few things I hadn't done before. So the way that the the way that the facing is done around the neckline is really just comes together really nicely. It just works really well, and I enjoyed doing that a lot. And yeah, it just seemed that the pattern just worked really well. So I think I made what size did I make? I have that on my pattern piece as well. Yeah, I made the smallest size again on this one, because again, I don't find things look great on me if they're too baggy. So and that ends up fitting quite nicely, particularly the waist ties. And yeah, I had a bit of fun with the check match, and that was a bit of a challenge. But yeah, what else can I say? It's got pockets. I think it'll be yeah, a nice one for summer, hopefully. Okay, now my next make for March, and this is the Megan Nielsen, again, Sudley blouse. I think this might be my favourite thing I made this month. And actually I was quite grateful for the first vlog I made, because sometimes I put things off, well, I'm sure everyone does, put certain things off when you're a bit nervous of cutting into particularly nice fabric. But because I put it in my vlog, I thought, well, I'm just going to get started on this, and so I'm just going to make some decisions and just go for it. And actually I'm really happy with how it turned out. So yeah, this is a Megan Nielsen Sudley blouse, and I'll get the pattern for this one. So the pattern is for the blouse and also a dress, but I thought this fabric's fairly sheer, as you can see, so I didn't want to go for a dress in it, so yeah, this is a blouse. So yeah, I love the cutout neck detail, and actually this one you can wear back to front, so if I wanted I could turn it around and have this at the back as well. But yeah, it's the keyhole neck detail, which I think is really nice, and it's got really nice sort of fine little ties, which were quite tricky to turn the right side out, and I'm useless with knitting needles or any turners, because I somehow seem to every time poke a hole through the end of the fabric, and so I do it by hand, which is like a nice little project in front of the TV and takes me absolutely ages, but I feel it's worth it to avoid destroying the fabric, which is what the other option would be. So yeah, this is the pattern. So I sort of made a kind of mixture of the versions. So I chose to do the keyhole neck feature with the ties, but I didn't do the collar because I thought that might be a bit too much for this fabric. And the pattern doesn't offer a long sleeve version. Well, actually the pattern I have doesn't offer a long sleeve version, but when I was looking on the internet and researching this pattern, I found that actually they've released a pattern with an add-on that does have a long sleeve version with elasticated cuffs, but I didn't have that, so I kind of just altered it myself. So and I think the pattern that they have with the elasticated cuffs comes with a thicker bit of elastic at the bottom, but what I did was I used the pattern by the avid seamstress, the Blouse pattern, because that has a lovely sort of, I think, quite delicate elasticated cuff feature, and that's designed to come down to about elbow length, but I just lengthened the sleeve a little bit longer, and then taped it a little bit to make it a little bit sort of so it didn't sort of bag down too much, so it's kind of fairly fitted. And then I added the elastic at the bottom here, and I'm quite pleased how it turned out, because I often find with 3/4 length things I end up feeling a bit chilly and end up putting a cardigan over it, and then you can't really see it as well anyway. So I thought the long sleeve would work well for me, and yeah, this is how it's turned out. So I'll stand up and you can see I lengthened it slightly, by maybe an inch or two, so it kind of fell just down to about hip level, but I think it would look really nice tucked into a skirt too. And yeah, I'm really happy with it, and I'm glad I pushed myself and decided to make the Sudley instead of making another blouse, although I love that pattern. It's nice to have a bit of variety in your wardrobe. And this fabric was actually, it's really drapey and beautiful and light. It's a Tencel lawn from So Me Sunshine. But it was actually really nice to work with as well. It wasn't, you didn't misbehave like some slippy fabrics do. It actually behaved very nicely. And yeah, I just really love it. So I'm really pleased with this one. What else to say about it? Oh, that's the one thing I wanted to say. The neckline, the keyhole detail, and the face. So what you have to do for this pattern is it gives you a pattern piece for making bias binding. So I made bias binding, and I kind of made the bias binding strips just on the white in between the hearts, so that there weren't sort of hearts showing through, because it's quite a sheer fabric. So kind of bias bound with the white kind of bits of the fabric. Now there's quite a lot of detailed instructions in the pattern, and also there's a couple of posts on Megan Nielsen website about how to do the this bit here. Now generally the important thing that you need to have is a steam iron, and my iron in the steam function has been broken for ages. I really should get a new one. So what I did instead, because I hadn't got a steam iron to kind of shape it nicely, is I stay stitched the collar bits, and I also stay stitched each side round here, so that when I started applying the bias binding, it didn't slip and stretch, and it seems to have turned out okay like that. So But I'm really pleased that happened, because I would have been a bit disappointed if my lack of steam iron had meant the shape got spoilt. So yeah, I stay stitched all, which the pattern doesn't say, but I found it as a useful alternative option. And I quite like stay stitching because I'm not very good with the iron, and I do worry I'm going to destroy the fabric. So yeah, that's just another way to do the neckline, and it did turn out okay for me at least. So yeah, that's my Megan Nielsen Sudley blouse in beautiful Tencel lawn from Stevie Sunshine. I'm now wearing my last make for me for March 2020, and it's this cardigan, and from the back wings you could probably recognise it as the Tilly and the Buttons Bertha cardigan from Tilly's new book Make It Simple. It is a very quick, satisfying make, so perfect if you want something fairly easy in between a couple of more meaty projects. And I've made it in this pink reverse French terry fabric, which has got a really nice texture, and that was from Louboutin Fabrics. Yeah, it just came together really nicely. It's quite a nice length, a little bit cropped. And I made the smallest size, even though I'm not usually the smallest size for Tilly patterns, because I wanted it to be not too oversized. I didn't need to lengthen the sleeves in this one, because they come up quite nice and long and cosy anyway, and they've got this really nice oversized cuffs, which I think is a really nice detail. It's just a really, it's just a really nice cardigan you can throw on over anything, really comfy, really casual. So yeah, I really like it, and I've got another one planned which I'm going to be talking about in my April 2020 makes. So yeah, that'll be on there. Now that's all that I made for myself for this month, but I didn't do one other make that I wasn't originally planning to, and I'll just scroll around a little bit so you can see it. And this one here, and this is the Blackwood cardigan from Helen's Closet. My first Helen's Closet pattern, but I've kind of admired quite a few Blackwood cardigans on Instagram, so I'm surprised I haven't made one before now. The reason I made this one was for my mum's birthday. So my mum's birthday is tomorrow, and we won't get to see her, unfortunately, obviously with the lockdown, and so we've kind of postponed her birthday, so I won't be giving it to her tomorrow either, because she would rather wait and do it when we can get everyone together. So but yeah, this is a Blackwood cardigan. My mum is quite tall and quite slim, and she really struggles to find things that are long enough in the sleeve and the body, but also fairly slim fitting. So I was really pleased to be able to make this for her. So my sister and I chose this fabric. It's a petrol coloured jersey from Louboutin Fabrics, because we wanted something fairly light, because she works in the library and it can get quite warm in there, so I think she likes to wear layers so she can easily take one off, and yeah, so hopefully it'll be nice and practical for her. And I lengthen the sleeves and I lengthen the body to make it extra long, so I really hope it fits her. So yeah, it came together really nicely as a pattern. The only thing I had a bit of trouble with was the zigzagging around the pockets and around the front band here. I found that when I zigzagged, the fabric starts to ripple slightly. So I was on Instagram having a chat to the lovely Caroline, who's at Sewing by the Sea, and she said that she'd had success with, instead of zigzagging around bands like this, to use a straight stitch, because it's not an area of a lot of it's not an area that gets pulled and stretched or a lot of strain like an arm seam, so you don't necessarily need the stretch stitch as much. So I'm going to give that a go with my next version of this cardigan. I've ordered some more fabric to make my mum one more of them, so she'll get two for her birthday, one slightly ripply and one hopefully not. So I'll let you know how I get on with that technique of using some straight stitch instead, because yeah, it has come out slightly ripply. I think it will still be a nice cardigan to wear, but just not as perfect as I would like for a present. But yeah, it's a really lovely cardigan. It's got a nice wide bottom band here, and it's a nice shape, and I think I'll probably be making one for myself at some point too, because I think that is a bit like the Bertha, a great classic cardigan shape that'll go over anything. And I got my pattern for this one printed out by the Fold Line. So I bought the pattern, the PDF pattern, and then I also opted for their pattern printing service, and it came in this lovely envelope, so I really recommend the Fold Line. It came with this lovely envelope to store it all in, which is really handy because it's quite a bulky piece, the printed out pattern. So yeah, that was great. I really enjoyed using that service. I'll definitely use them again. And so yeah, that's the Blackwood cardigan. So thank you so much for watching my March 2020 makes. Hopefully I'll be back with you soon to talk about my April plans, because I've got some really lovely fabrics I'm really looking forward to sewing with. Yeah, if you haven't subscribed, that would be amazing if you could, and also like this video, and I'll put some details underneath of what I've talked about and what I've mentioned. And yeah, thanks again and have a great day.